Well, this spring, we had we did a tour of Detroit. Wayne State University professor brought in students, PhD students in urban planning from all over the country. And this young woman came in from North Carolina, and she said when she came in, she was scared. She was really angry that this professor had used Detroit as a place where they should gather. And then we did a tour of Detroit with her, which began with a speech by me. And she said until she was scared, until she said she heard me speak about seeing Detroit with your heart. And I think that I have an article there, a column that I wrote on it, and I'll give it to you, because I think that we don't understand how we're so caught up in the glitter and the glamour of New York, of San Francisco, and of Chicago, that we don't understand that you have to build a city because you love it, because you have to have roots. And particularly in this age of globalization, I think, we have to have both a wonderful sense of the cosmos and also a rootedness in some place that we are responsible for and which is responsible for us. Well, I wrote a column. This book, by the way, which Jimmy and I wrote in '74, has just been reissued in a new edition with a new introduction by me. And one of the things I say in it is that 50, 60, 70 years from now, our children and our grandchildren will say, we are the descendants of people who stopped driving cars, who helped save the planet by using bikes to get to work, by giving up all these huge monsters, gases, that we are the sons and daughters of the Third American Revolution, or the Second American Revolution. And I think that's where we are. I think we have to understand that the changes are not going to take place overnight, but that we can take steps now much more important than, not much more important, but equally important to those that were taken by those who threw the tea overboard in the Boston Tea Party. The last year, 2007, was the 40th anniversary of Martin Luther King's anti-Vietnam War speech, in which he called for a radical revolution of values against the giant triplets of racism, materialism, and militarism. So on the anniversary of his speech, we had a meeting in which we brought people together to talk about transformation of grief into hope. And then on the 40th anniversary of the rebellion in July, we brought people together to talk about where do we go from here. And what was so wonderful about that meeting was that people began talking about what they want to do to make Detroit into a city that would be different, it would be a city of the future, how we could create peace zones, how we create a different concept of justice, that rather than have punitive justice, which ends up with everybody going to prison, we'd have this concept of restorative justice, how we would grow our own food, how we would have our own businesses, how we would transform education so that children would participate in community building, how all this would be a paradigm shift from what's taking place now. And so we have a group called Detroit City of Hope, which is working on this.